If you struggle to price yourself higher for your patients, I made this video just for you. On this video, I'll show you 4 major reasons why you should price yourself higher because it's actually going to help your patients get better treatment outcomes. By the way, my name's Phil and I'm a health business architect and sales coach that has helped over 100 clinicians in Australia and hundreds across the world through my books. All my clients price their 30-minute consults at least $120 and they're all routinely booked out. Before we get into the 4 main reasons, the most common objection to raising prices is you might feel greedy. You might be saying to yourself, I don't need that much money. And I'm sure that's true. However, the problem with this is it's actually been proven that pricing higher gets better treatment outcomes than those who price low, which means you're doing your patient a disservice by undervaluing what you provide. The second thing is greed is not just about money. It's also about your status. I've met many clinicians who say they don't need the money, but the truth is what they really crave is status. These are the same clinicians who drop off at 5 to 10 years because they don't want to charge their patients higher prices, but they also have no issue asking their employers for more money. Now, why is that a problem? Because if you don't charge your patients more, then the business won't make more money. And if the business doesn't make more money, then your boss can't pay you more. And because they don't get it, they start to say that health has no financial reward, they don't get paid enough, and eventually they just burn out or they drop out of the career entirely. Now, if this makes you uncomfortable, then keep watching because by the end of this video, you'll never see pricing the same way again. Now, the 4 reasons you should increase your prices are as follows. Number 1, it increases the accountability for you and your patient. Number 2, it utilizes the price placebo effect that helps them get better outcomes. Number 3, it improves the lead quality. And number 4, it frees up your attention so you can actually deliver the best service that you can. Now let's get into reason number 1. One of the biggest missing pieces with the price rise conversation is that in order to raise your prices successfully, you need to be able to provide more value than the people around you. This means that you need to spend time refining your products, features, and services so you are the best of the best. If you raise your prices without a great product, it'll only work in the short term. Because if your market sees that you've raised your prices, but your quality isn't there, they'll leave and then you're just left with a dead business. 2, when you raise your prices, something subconscious happens. Your body feels the responsibility of charging a patient more, which means you need to perform every single time. If you're a clinician used to billing $70 or $80 for 30 minutes, and tomorrow I bumped your prices up to $130, I guarantee you will show up differently for your patient because you're now feeling way more accountable. And that brings me to my last point, which is pricing high carries higher reputational risk. If you charge 1.5 to 2 times more than everyone else, you better be able to provide 3 or 4 times better because there's a saying where one unhappy customer tells 10 other people. Well, if you increase your prices, then one expensive unhappy customer will tell 100 people. This is the part that many clinicians are actually afraid of. They are afraid of the judgment that comes from asking for more and if they do a bad job, which comes down to self-belief, but that's a topic for another time. Now, the second reason of accountability is that your clients themselves actually become more accountable because when you're paying more for something, you're more likely to take care of it, you're more likely to cherish it, you're more likely to do the things that are required of you because you have made the decision to invest high in something that you need. If you contrast this with somebody who just is willing to spend $40 or $50 to try it out, do you really think they're going to stick it through for long enough to see the actual benefit? Probably not. Now, the second reason to take advantage of raising your prices is the placebo effect. It is a well-researched marketing phenomenon where someone who pays more expects better results, and because they expect more, they experience the service better, which in our context means they're going to buy into the plan, leading to better outcomes anyway. This is not a simple trick, it's just simple human behavior. Like I said, if someone pays more for something, they'll take care of it more, they'll use it more. In fact, they will actually find reasons to use it. But like I said in point 1, you should not raise prices if you aren't ready to meet the expectations of those patients. If you want to learn how to meet those expectations, I have a 240K clinician roadmap that you can check out somewhere over here. Now, the third reason to raise your prices is because it increases your lead quality. Something interesting happens when you price yourself higher. People stop comparing you as a commodity to other clinics and they start to question the value that you provide. Now, let's do this thought experiment. If you are experiencing lower back pain and there's 4 clinics in the area, or charging $120, and then there's one clinic in the area charging $150, what's going to happen? Now, if someone was price conscious, which means their attention is focused on how much it costs, then naturally they will focus on the clinics that are $120, because why would they pay $150 for something if they can get it for $120, right? Now, this is called a commodity mindset. And these patients are looking at a dollar solution as opposed to the value of the solution. But say what you're looking for is value. Say you're a patient who is really intent on just solving their problem. Would a $30 difference be enough to deter you from working with the best clinician in the area? For most people who are value conscious, no, because a $30 difference isn't that big in the grand scheme of rehab. So these people are actually willing to consider paying more to get the right solution for their problem. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Say you have a price-conscious patient and a value-conscious patient. Which one of these two is more likely to retain for a full 6-week rehab course? So this is the question. If somebody is willing to pay $150 per session, would they be happy to pay $150 per week for 6 weeks? Versus if somebody is only willing to pay $120 per week, would they be willing to pay for 6 weeks? That's the question. Now, as far as my experience goes, the people who are willing to pay $150 upfront for the first session are far more likely to stick to it for the entire duration. The people who are gauging on price are far less likely because they're already coming into it with the pricing mindset. Or to give you another analogy, if someone walks into a Ferrari dealership, do you think they're more likely to haggle on price? Or someone who walks into a used car dealership? See, when you price high, people will come to see you after they've assessed you on your price. And if they feel that your price is worth the value that you portray, then they are far more likely to come to you because they want a premium solution. Now, a lot of clinicians push back against this because, well, what if people can't afford it? The answer to this is twofold. When you price high successfully, generally what happens is you can create more free content to help people on YouTube or Instagram because now you have more time. And the other is people who don't have that much money will save their money to come see you if their problem is deep enough, if they value your solution deep enough as well. I've had clients whose patients save up for 8 weeks or 9 weeks to spend $180 for a plan with them because they really like the things that they do and they're happy to invest to solve their problem. The only difference is because their budget is a constraint, as the provider, you should get to know what their exact plan is so that you can prepare a treatment plan for them that matches their budget. And all of that brings us to our last component, which is attention. So when you increase your prices, let's say you hit $30 more over a year. If you average 50 consults a week, that works out to be $1,500 more revenue per week. From here, you can probably decrease your consults to 40 a week and your income will be the same. For example, if you saw 50 patients a week and you wanted to make 5K per week, then your average consult price is going to be $100. But if you say had 40 a week and you still wanted to make 5K, then your average consult price is now $125. But the difference is between the 10 patients you don't see, that's roughly 5 hours of spare time that you have. And these 5 hours are attention that you pour back into your existing clients. Because it doesn't matter who you are, we are all human. As consults increase, attention decreases. And it decreases because we have a finite amount of attention we can give to anything per day, per week, per year. Someone who sees 70 patients a week is less likely to sustain a premium level of service than someone who just sees 40 patients a week. Because if you're seeing 40 a week, you can be more present, you can send more follow-up texts, you can create better patient programs, and you still have time to innovate better ways to do things. At 70 patients a week, that's 35 hours of treating, and that's without patient follow-ups, that's without program creation, and that might not even include your note-taking. And that's why in the long term, the time you free up becomes valuable because you have the attention to give to the ones that you do treat and they can feel that. So a quick recap. The 4 reasons why raising your prices is better for your patient are: it increases the accountability of both you and your patient. Number 2, it uses the price placebo effect so patients buy into their treatment more. Number 3, it improves the quality of the people who come to see you. And 4, it improves the quality of the attention that you provide to your patients. If you just understand those 4 things, you should be on your way to creating a higher premium, higher price service. Thanks for watching. Bye.